Not only did you do it, but it also showcases that tattoo, which is who you are.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany, can you just
First, guys. No, that's it. No blinking. Beautiful.
Hobbs has been wonderful, and you know, it's obviously people seem to like it, but to be making a feature and being here is pretty special. I haven't ever been to one of these myself, so it's really exciting, you know, and just seeing all this, actually just seeing all these Bob stuff. I mean, I did this drawing, so it's kind of funny just seeing it on large, you know. It's great because I think it was just really special to be able to tell a story, a bigger story. And, you know, the funny thing about Bob's is like, it's been around for 10 years and millions of people have watched it, but they only watch it in like groups of 5, you know, and 4 or 5, you know, just families at home, whereas this is a time where you can have a few hundred fans all watching it together, and that's what we're excited about tonight, just seeing it with a big crowd. It is really fun to see in a crowd, and like I was really happy with how well it played, because we hadn't, you know, unlike a lot of movies where they have test screenings and that sort of thing in the lead up to the release, because of the pandemic, we had none of that. So we kind of, it felt like there was only a handful of people that had ever seen the movie, you know, in its entirety. So, and to see it with a crowd and see their reactions was really fun. Yeah, it was great. It's all about positivity, I think, and I think at the moment it's a great message right now, and you know, the family, and it's also just to the Belchers are a family that love each other, they're very supportive of each other, and I think when you know, they go on this big adventure and basically they're going to lose the restaurant, and so to see the family deal with that is great. It was interesting because just to be able to pick a story, and I think what they did was amazing, because, you know, from the very outset, we didn't want it to feel like an episode of the show. We didn't want people coming out going, well, that felt like a long episode, we could have watched that at home. We want it to be a big screen experience. And so they really did a great job of coming up with a story that you could never do on a show. It's such a large-scale story with large stakes, and at the same time they had all our characters have their own little story. We follow them all, and I just think they did an amazing job, and I think fans of the show and all the characters are going to love it.
It's interesting when Loren said they're doing a movie, I wasn't really sure what that would be like, because the show does have kind of a smaller stakes, and I was like, I hope they don't kind of like ruin that to go, you know, to be like it has to be a movie. But I feel like when I saw the cut, I totally got it. They like, it's a bigger stakes, the animation has more detail, more depth. It really belongs on a big screen, but it still holds on to, like, you know, the groundedness of the family. Loren, the creator, in his writing, and he's just very good at like somehow writing dialogue that really seems like real people in a way that nothing else does. And so I think people, when they see that, and there's such a variety of characters, not just the main characters, but all the side characters, that everyone can find someone that like, that's like exactly me, and that's exactly my dynamic with my sister or mom or friend or whoever. Well, it just has such a, it goes to a kind of like surprisingly dark and tense place. It comes back from it, and then, but it just has like, it just has like, a grander, bigger stakes, and it just has like, you know, so many like musical numbers, and that are much more like fully choreographed, the way I wouldn't even think they'd bother with a cartoon, but just like really interesting dance moves, and just such, and really interesting like set pieces, and it just is such a spectacle. It would, I'm sure it'd be great to watch. I mean, I have watched it on the small screen, and it's great, but it's much better to see on.
It's incredibly exciting. I've never been to a premiere, and so this is really amazing. It's so much, yeah, it's wonderful. They're just a very warm but kind of idiosyncratic family that, you know, embrace all their oddities. Some of the messages in the film, I think gumption, there's going to be gumption and heart. Those are the themes. It is a comedy, adventure, musical, mystery. It has elements of a lot of different things coming together. I think one thing that's kind of wonderful about the movie is that whether you've ever seen any Bob's Burgers or not, it's kind of actually a great intro into the world. It's a very funny, very warm movie, and a great movie to see with friends and family.
As a cast member, you never know if you're going to make a movie out of a show. But I think early on, like early in the first few seasons of the show, fans started sort of asking, "Are you ever going to make a movie?" And then they did. I would say kudos to the people who actually made the movie. I did a little bit, but not a lot. I'm really, I just provide the voice, but there's a lot of work that went into making the movie, and they had to make the TV show at the same time, so it's pretty impressive. Their natural interaction is like a lot of families. They complain a lot, there's a lot of problems, and they help each other through it. They obviously wanted to make it a musical because there's been music in the show all these years, and they wanted to make it a story about the family, and they wanted the stakes to be a little higher than maybe a normal episode of the show. So I think they achieved that.
What's really fun is that people want to take my picture, which is exciting. This does feel like my party. I'm seeing a burger outfit. I don't know. They just look good. Bob's Burgers has been a TV show that people have found a lot of comfort and love in over the years, and it's kind of like a neighbor. It's always next door, and you always know where to find it. But a movie is sort of like a one-night-only pop star just rolled into town, and we all need to catch it while it's here. It's brought a lot of excitement, a rejuvenation in the show. People are coming out saying, "Oh, I love Bob's," and it's just I feel the love.
We've been making this movie with passion in addition to the series for the past 4 years. And through the pandemic, now we're actually here at the El Capitan on Hollywood Boulevard. It's just, it is like a fairy tale. So we're so excited to see how all the fans and all of our family respond to the film. There's so much comedy, so much music, so much adventure. We really tried to take the best of the series and make it into a film, and we hope everybody appreciates it. It has so much to bring everybody together because there's so many relatable story points, and I think that's something special about our characters is how we have a character for everybody to relate to. So whether it's with your family, whether it's with your friends, there's someone for you to fall in love with. It's really about happiness and bringing people together and really showcasing every character as well as our personalities' independence. And I think every character has a storyline within the film, and I think it's going to be something special for everybody to gravitate towards. The energy is just, I don't have enough words. We've been away from the fans, we've been away from the Bob's energy for so long that this being kind of the first time we're back together after the pandemic, just seeing the cosplay, hearing the music, the fans' excitement and laughter, it's why we do this. It is the true reason why we do this.
I never in my wildest dreams when I was valeting just down the street that I would be here. We got to make a movie, which is unheard of for a TV show that started out so small and kind of grew to this place with all our awesome fans and all the Comic-Cons. And I think I don't think any of us saw this coming. It's been talked about for a while, and now here we are. And I love the movie. It's so fun, and it's going to be great for all ages, I think. I'm excited for Louise's storyline. Is very cool for young girls, and I love just how the family comes together and. They love each other. There's a lot of love, but there's a lot of drama in this that's not in the show. It's very big and made for the theater, so it's going to be fun to watch. You just want everyone to enjoy the movie. There's a lot of hard work that the voice actors have nothing to do with. The animators, the writers, directors, all the hard stuff I think happens after we record. So I'm proud of them for getting through a pandemic and writing something fun and something that's going to take people out of their space for a few seconds, and it's just something to enjoy. There's a little murder mystery musical comedy, I guess that's how we would describe it, and amazing guest stars, and I think there's something for all the fans, little gems, little hidden Easter eggs in there that I think people are going to enjoy.
The long kind of journey this film took to make it here. I think it's great that we're all here kind of celebrating this show, now a movie. There's the same pattern of they are in a struggle, there's a struggle, and people have to come together and there's a sense of community. But in the case of the film, it's much bigger. It's a much bigger movie, very cinematic, both the animation and the musical aspects. There's also choreography in this film, which is pretty great. Bring your friends and even friends who've never seen Bob's Burgers and introduce them into a world that, if you enjoy your time here, which I think you will, you're probably going to come out and watch 200 more stories about this family and this cast of characters. They're all unique, and they're all kind of in their own way, but from their parents they get love and support despite the fact that they're kind of in this state of economic adversity, not to get too heady, but they're always struggling, but they are always being a family and they're always being funny, and there's a lot of love in the show.
You don't want to imagine this, and you shouldn't, because you just get ahead of yourself. So we're just taking this as if it's a long, strange dream that we're having, and that's why I wore something like this. I will say this. I actually want the fans to forget for a second that it's a TV show. I want this movie to work even for people who've never seen it before, and to kind of lift off for a moment and not even be a TV show that got turned into a movie, just a movie. We were thinking a lot about optimism. That's something that's been in the show this whole time, but we hadn't done an episode about it. We hadn't really explored it. And so we looked at that as our main course. And it's also something, that's just like we're interested in our own lives. The people who work on this show are a pretty optimistic bunch. And optimism isn't some foolish thing that you just have when times are good. It's actually the most important to have when times are tough. The actors like each other. And that makes us want to write a family that likes each other, even when they're being silly, even when they're goofing around. There goes one. And I think there's something there. It's our formula, and we're sticking to it.
So cool to see people in costume. Like, I didn't know that was going to be a part of it. I thought it was just going to all be like serious, fancy dress people, and the people in costume make it so much more fun. And like, oh, good. Like, there's going to be people that really love the show here. First of all, it was really fun to do. Like, we love movies and never dreamed that one day we'd be able to write it. And then I love these characters so much that it was just exciting to put them in a context where it was like a huge epic story, because I think they can make that work, because great jokes cut well against a huge epic story. So it's like they fit in any scenario, and it was so fun for us to write something really big for them. We knew we wanted to do something that was worthy of the big screen, so me and Loren were like, murder mystery pretty early on, because we love that genre. And then we knew we can't do anything without doing music, because we love it so much, so we wanted to put that in. And then we knew that a big screen meant really fun, exciting, big action pieces, and we do some of those on the show, but we haven't really thought about incorporating them as much as with this movie. And then we got the chance to do these big, and Bernard, our director, pushed us towards that too, these big visual set pieces. And it was just exciting to put it all together and steal from all of our favorite genres and put it into one thing. I'm so excited about groups of friends seeing it. We finally got to see it in a screening with people who had never worked on the movie, and it was so exciting as an experience, because most people are watching it by themselves with a few people at home, and it's I don't want to say Rocky Horror Picture Show, but because it's not I don't want to. That's up in a high level, but it's so exciting to think of a shared experience. It just makes it so much more human and a deeper connection. It just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I love it. I love that people are going to be able to share it together. We really wanted the movie to be about optimism. It was really important to us to have it be a conversation between Bob and Linda, a pessimist and an optimist, and why it's actually doing the math, is it potentially worthwhile to be an optimist? Because I'm kind of a pessimist, Lauren's kind of an optimist, so it was sort of discussing that. And coming out, I'm a spoiler, on the side of optimism. We didn't decide we should all be pessimists. And it was really important to us to be being hopeful is actually maybe the right way to go about your life.
I love you, and thanks for coming, everybody. Please enjoy the movie.